Hello everybody and welcome back to Saskatchewan. Do you know this is the 40th episode of this series? I left it go for so many months and we still topped up to 40 episodes. That's pretty good. That's a nice round number, isn't it? Certainly a good number to get to before I even consider ending this kind of series. So I know what I'm going to do today. I think the majority of the last episode was me kind of fumbling along, I think, to be honest, and reminding myself live of exactly what I had to do and what was going on this farm. But I got a pretty good grasp of it, actually. So we know where we're at. We have moved forward a month, by the way. So we have to harvest that canola field. This is the last month we have to do it. Now the yield, albeit may not be perfect, but we can't not do it. It's just a complete waste of time. So that is the first most important thing to do. But there are a few main things I think we can achieve in this episode, and hopefully it's not going to be too long. But there are a few things I do want to achieve. So I'm not going to hang around. I want to do the talking this time whilst I'm actually doing something. So we're just going to cruise down to the field in the Challenger, in the Swaffer. I haven't used this for such a long time. So we'll jump in. Thank you very much. I did have a slight feeling anyway, which is why I didn't jump straight into buying that header. But thank you very much for those of you who've commented, Chantal especially. You've done the research for me actually and saved me actually going in and doing it myself. But you can swath canola. Not just on this map, I think the Swaffer pack in general, you can swath canola. So I am really glad I didn't just kind of waste money on that header. It was a great deal. I doubt very much it's in the shop today. In fact, let's have a real quick look. No, I mean, there's nothing in the shop today, in fact. Unusual sight. I'm used to that Bendercat fancy mod. But anyway, we missed out on it now, but it doesn't matter. I think the yield percentage we'll benefit from with the Swaffer, which I want to say is 20%. That makes up for the lack of fertilising. So at least we'll kind of, well, I say break even. We'll break even to it being a fully fertilised field at least anyway. So we're going to do that first of all. Now, I am really glad that I didn't buy the header for one main reason. I think the way to invest this money is in field, in a nice decent sized field. And hey, if I can time it well and do it this episode, potentially another field which is ready to harvest, which will more than likely be for October, another canola field. But that's fine. It means we can put it all into one trailer in one go and kind of just sell it all in one go. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I haven't looked at the fields properly, but I have an idea of which field, and it's one I've looked at a few times on this map, even before when I was recording before. And the thing that stood out for me was the yield potential. It's like 115% yield potential, I want to say. So hopefully, if that field is affordable, certainly by the time we sell a little bit, then we would also purchase that this episode. Because as you can tell, a lot of these fields which were all ready to harvest, nearly the whole map, is now not ready to harvest. We are in fact limited to that. There is probably a canola field. Now I do like to, I've made a point, because this is so large, I do like to load it onto the back of the truck, onto the low loader, but actually I do remember my plan never really worked out, did it? So this kind of Swaffer attachment didn't actually load onto that trailer as I wanted anyway. Can I actually raise it? Okay, that might make a bit of difference. Probably not a huge amount, but this is not dragging on the ground there now. So I'm going to get into this field straight away. We'll just do a headland, and then I'll probably set it to a worker, because that was always allowed. That's always allowed in any series, again, even when I try and stick to realism. Because realistically, you know, if you had the money to pay someone, you wouldn't do everything on your own, would you? So we'll do the headland, then we'll set it on a worker. And I have a plan for the meantime. Now let's just lower this. And I assume it will just work. Will it? Yes, it will. I need to get that Someone suggested a mod to me where it doesn't kind of do what it's doing now, it kind of just gives you constant grass and you lose a bit of what you need, and that is quite frustrating. So I will have to install that mod, but I didn't at the time. Maybe I should have done. But for a minute, I'll play it safe and I'll just completely avoid the grass. I don't know if I actually lost yield then, or whether it's just kind of, don't know, did it just save all the rest of the canola up and dump it at the end of it? I don't know, not sure. It's a bit annoying though. I'll get as close as I can to the edge. I think that's probably about right. Yeah. So yeah, the reason I'm gonna... Oh, let's do that again. That's so annoying, isn't it? Right, third time lucky. The reason I'm gonna set it to a worker is because actually I have kind of... I've remembered. I remembered at the end of the last recording actually. I might have even said it, I can't remember, but we have so much of those passive bits of income, the bits that were set up before we'd even kind of stopped doing this series temporarily, and in that is, you know, the maple syrup. There's so much of it by the look of it, and honey. Now they're just passive. The honey is 100% passive. You have to do literally nothing. Obviously the maple syrup, you just keep it topped up with water, but that still, I believe, still had a little bit of water in it. So that's just constantly been generating maple syrup. Even through the kind of 4 or 5 months I'd skipped, it's just continued to build and produce maple syrup. So we're going to sell it. Probably not the right time of the year to sell it. However, it's money that we're going to need. And I do think that we need a tiny little top up to have enough to buy another field. There won't be much in it. I think maybe we need 10 grand, maybe a tiny bit more. I'm sure we can get that out of those two. Honey and maple syrup would be fine. So we're going to be doing that whilst we have a worker doing the rest of this field. Hopefully. I wonder, do I just play it safe? Let's play it safe. Go around again. Try and do as much damage prevention as possible. The last thing I want is for a worker to clip some grass and end up giving me a whole field of grass. That would be quite annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Did I lose a little bit there? So while I'm here, did I lose a bit, or did it kind of like bulk up where it didn't swath here and kind of dump it here? This does look like a bit of a bigger pile right at the start, doesn't it? So maybe I didn't lose any. Maybe it just kind of dragged it along. I'm not sure. Not sure. At least I cottoned onto it relatively early on anyway. That's limited how much we lost. So yeah, anyway, I hope everyone's well. I did manage to, I'm really happy I managed to do it, but I managed to get a little story mode out as well for Saturday. That's kind of my bread and butter. I guess that's the bread and butter anyway. That's certainly the series that's popular. Introduced the new character for anyone watching who's British. Maybe anyone from anywhere actually. I don't know how popular Kevin and Perry is, but yeah, I've had a little play on the characters. I do tend to play on the little pictures that I use. I tend to play on, but yeah, as you can clearly tell by potentially, I mean, that's my best Perry impression I could do anyway, in calling the character Terry. I guess it's pretty obvious that it's kind of like a Wish version of Kevin and Perry, I guess. But I've played on it a little bit, and yeah, it was. I tell you what, it was a killer. Trying to switch between doing Mr. Travaskis voice and then jumping to Perry, and then going back to me talking, and then Travaskis again. Oh, that was hard work. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and I did actually joke in the live chat that I had to get my good lady to give me a kick in a certain place. That was a lie. She doesn't abuse me. I didn't actually get her to give me a kick because, you know, that would be domestic abuse, and she doesn't do that. However, next time I might have to, because it is quite hard. It just strain the voice box a little bit, that's for sure. But I do hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was quite funny. You can definitely see, and you know, am I blowing my own trumpet? I'm not, but I can definitely see, even in myself, even in some of the kind of existing videos. I go back to videos, you know, I mentioned last time certain people are going back and watching every videos. Curtis, you know, he's going back and watching a lot of my videos. Some videos were done 9-10 months ago. Bendercat comments on every single, I think probably every single video I've ever made, Bendercat's commented on. And sometimes I have to just click on it. Let's see, does this work on a worker? It doesn't, does it? Okay, right. I'll keep going. That's annoying. Yeah, sometimes when there's a comment kind of suggesting something, or why didn't you think about doing it this way, or I liked this bit, because it was so long ago, I have no idea what you're talking about. I actually don't know. So sometimes I do click on the video and I go back and I watch a little bit, just so I have some sort of concept of what we're actually talking about in the comments. But I have noticed a massive difference in me. You know, YouTube is quite daunting at first. There's no doubt about that. My first ever videos, in my lifetime, I'd never really had the need to listen to my own voice talking for such a long time. So it is a strange feeling, a strange sensation when you start doing videos like that. So as you do it every day and you get used to what you sound like, you kind of, I guess, give up caring. You know, my confidence has grown and I don't really care if I make a mistake. Initially, I'd probably try and edit it out. Now, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, 100%. And I must admit, my Mr. Chavasca's voice has got a lot better as well, actually. Yeah, that's a hard voice to try and put on, but it's definitely something that's a bit more natural to me now. I reckon I could get away with doing a full entire episode of just Mr. Chavasca's. Yeah, I reckon I could do that. I watched one of the original roleplay videos back the other day, and I was kind of counting the amount of times I said and and you know, where I'm kind of thinking in my head what I need to do, but I'm not kind of confidently able to kind of say it. I have to think about it. So definitely a big change. And I guess thank you to everyone watching this. You know, it's one of the originals. Anyone who watches the roleplay, you know, you've kind of been on that journey with me, I guess. And you know what? I have no intention of stopping. So, you know, I'm pretty much ready now to annualise on the kind of official attempt at YouTube. Now, I started my channel in October of 2022. It shows it's older than that, of course, because it was just my own YouTube account, which I think I've had for about 15 years. But yeah, my channel officially October 2022, and I had kind of close friends, people I played with, the likes of UFG and other little YouTubers who at the time I just watched, and I just kind of commented on their videos, and they returned the favour, I guess, in me being a fan by giving me some suggestions and comments on those videos. But yeah, I had 74 subscribers by the end of January. First videos in October, November, December and January I pretty much didn't do any videos just because of Christmas, and you know, when you have at the time probably less than 70 subscribers, you don't feel any kind of pressure or any need to do anything consistently, so I didn't bother. But it was kind of a comment which gave me a bit of a kick. It was in fact Lee, actually. You know, my memory isn't amazing, but I do remember certain things. And Lee Doughton, I think I'm saying that right. But you just give me a little message to say, you know, I've quite enjoyed this. You haven't done anything for a while. Are you alright? And when you're going to do some more? And I kind of thought, yeah, let's just do some more. Let's do it. So yeah, the third week, the final week of January, I put out. Well, that's when I started Season 2, Series 2 of the Roleplay Story Mode. And that's when it all kind of took off, I guess is the right word. And now here I am. I'm about ready to annualise on that kind of official 12 months of really, really trying to learn and do things properly. And I'm pretty much, you know, I mean, I think I'm only about 10 or 15 away from 1,500 subscribers. I never thought I'd even get close to that. I can remember when I got 100 and I was, you know, absolutely ecstatic. That was amazing. And yeah, here I am, 1,500. And now at 1,500, a bit of a milestone, it's a milestone I've always wanted to get to, is you can become a Giants partner. Now, does it make a difference realistically for little old me, you know, still a small channel in the big open ocean of YouTube. I'm not going to call myself a YouTube noob anymore. I've lost that title now, I think, but I am still a very small fish, so it would make absolutely no difference to me whatsoever being a Giants partner. Really wouldn't. But me personally, me internally, what a great thing, you know. If you loved the game and you did a little bit of YouTube creating and just kind of did some bits, still a hobby, and you actually become just called a partner of the company that makes that game. How good is that? How good is that? It's a great feeling. It is a great feeling. So I will certainly quite happily take on that and start sticking that little Giants logo all over the start of my videos. No problem at all. Amazing. That is actually amazing though. I'm quite excited about that. Hopefully by the 3rd week of January, I've got about 2 weeks, I can get to that 1500. So I could say in my first real year of trying YouTube, putting the effort into creating content, I've gone from kind of, you know, the bare minimum to a YouTube partner, making a little bit of money, and a Giants partner for the game, which, you know, is probably my favourite game and probably has been for quite a long time. So that's amazing, isn't it? You don't get much better than that. Not at all. Now I'm just going to pull this into here actually, if it will fit. Just about. Like I said, I can delete those gates, or those fences, sorry, so I will do that at some point. Let's just leave that there. Now, I didn't intend to swath that whole field. I was hoping I could set a worker to do it, but I couldn't. It is what it is. And we've probably lost a little bit there, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I would have just lost it anyway to grass. Not sure. We'll see. I might still get that bit. You can't be wasting a bit of crop like that, can you? That's not how it works. Right. Cool. So, I'm going to jump now, because I can jump. Well, let's have a look. How are the pigs doing, actually, by the way? Because I have skipped forward a month. One thing I remembered after doing the last episode, I think I said in the last episode, I can't really remember what the rules were with time. And there weren't really rules with time, but there was one rule. Every episode was a month. So I've skipped it forward a month, that's why we are now in October. So they have consumed a fair bit of food, but actually there's still enough there, isn't there? I can't remember what it was. What have they consumed? 1,000, maybe just under 1,000 in a month. So on that basis, we've got 3 months. We've got 3 months available. This thing is just an absolute machine, isn't it, this? I'll just jump into here now and have a look actually. So we're not actually using manure either, are we, at the minute? So, what are we producing? Sunflowers and corn. What else did I need? Where is that pig feeder? It's at the bottom. Oh yeah, potatoes, but we had loads of those. Sunflowers was the biggie. Sunflowers was the biggie. Okay, well we're alright for a minute, but actually what we can do every episode, whatever's produced there, we can just chuck into the food mixer. Yeah. In hindsight, maybe spending 22 grand on a food mixer so straight away was probably short-sighted of me. But I got so carried away with having so much money. I kind of just jumped straight in at the deep end, really. But it is a good investment. It is a good investment. And to be honest, spending money on things like that is assets, isn't it? You pretty much sell it for not much less than what you pay. Now, while I'm here, while I'm talking and kind of standing on the spot, let's jump to this map view. So here's the map. Last episode, pretty much the entire map was ready to harvest. Now it isn't. There's very limited amounts left. And these are pretty much, I believe, yeah, so they're all the same green of our field we've just harvested. So they're all canola, pretty much. This is the field. And I've been looking at it for a while. I've been looking at either of those for a while. But this one here, yield potential 117%. That's massive, by the way. That's massive, by the way. You have that yield potential if it's fully fertilized and you use the swather and the pickup. I think you could honestly make so much money out of one harvest of that. Now, the field is 90,000 266. So we're short. Last episode we weren't. Last episode we had more than enough, but again, the pigs were important. We had to feed the pigs. But we need to make money now. We need to make 12 grand. Can I make 12 grand? I don't know. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have loaded all of that up onto there, should I? Now that I think about it. Because how am I going to transport the honey? Oh, man. Oh, man. See, short-sighted. Short-sighted. Yeah. Oh, I could put it onto the low loader, maybe, couldn't I? I could put it onto the low loader. Right, okay. I'm going to start making some maneuvers on this first of all. Just to kind of give a small little break between the harvesting and doing the pickup. So, what do I need to do now? Let's think seriously now. Come on. What's going on? I need to get the tractor, the case up here, take this off. Then I need to get that truck turned around. Okay, right. I forget I can jump between vehicles. And, I don't even have to get out to manually attach. This is amazing. Let's go. And yes, I do need to clean them again. I'm getting some stick about this. They just look better, don't they, when they're dirty? What do you think? They just look more realistic, don't they? Rather than bright, shiny tractors all day, every day. Alright, let's connect this up. I really wanted to use a low loader because when I play a lot of kind of British style maps, which I do, that's kind of what I play a lot of. You don't tend to use low loaders. You very rarely tend to use those kind of articulated trucks, really. But because this was a bit of a straight open map, it just felt like the right thing to do. But it's just absolutely huge. It's ridiculous. Why don't I put that? Why don't I put that into there? That's a good idea. So we will do what we normally do on this series and use the auger wagon there just to pick up the seed or get the seed out of the harvester rather than driving that massive great truck onto a field, which would just be a bit unrealistic, I think. But actually, I do need to have a look at, in a minute at some point, that trailer. I've got a sneaky feeling there's a load of kind of produce or grain in that trailer. Let me look now while I remember. Does it let me kind of use that? Oh, it does. Okay, no, I was wrong. No, it's completely empty. Alright then. I don't know, something was telling me there was something in it. Maybe I sold that in the last episode. But that would be good to use. Yeah, I'm excited to use that. Right. Let's get this sorted a minute. Let's jump into the truck. Now I've got to remember what button it is to pick up. Oh, yeah, I've got it. There we go. Pick up the back thing there, just so it doesn't drag along the ground. And we'll get this repositioned. Okay, right, I've just parked the truck just kind of in front of the little maple syrup. I say factory, it's not really a factory, is it? A big plantation of maple trees. So let's just dump this humongous bucket down. Connect up the forks. It's definitely handy to have this here actually at the main yard. Otherwise at the minute I'd currently be kind of tracking back that John Deere. Ooh. Take out my fence, good one. Right, once we've done this we'll chuck that corner's sunflower into the mixer as well, just ready for whenever it's needed. The steering on this thing is odd. Very odd. So there is a downside to maple syrup. And it's a big downside, I think, if you're a console player, or like me, you're playing it the way a console would play it. And that is... I mean, doesn't it look like a lot? I'm having to do one at a time, by the way, because I never did level that ground, and it's trying to get to is a nightmare, and then trying to get it onto this is also a nightmare. But it works kind of like this. Just doesn't that look like there's a lot on the trailer? Yeah, there isn't. Each pallet is 288 litres, and that is annoying. When you're doing it like this, you know, you don't have the luxury of super strength, which I don't like using anyway, but I've just had to do this. I've just had to manually do this. I actually slowed the time down just because I was concerned it would be dark before I even finished doing it. So let me speed that time back up a minute. There we go. But yeah, and it just keeps on coming. I mean, it's not a problem. Every single one is money, yeah. But I tell you what, if I just recorded me doing this, I think even time-lapsed, it would probably be an hour-long episode. It would be like pallet storage simulator. Yeah. It wouldn't be FS, it would be PS, pallet storage. So yeah, we don't want to do that. Right. Hopefully. Oh, it's just produced another one, man, as well. Come on. Well, at this rate, I am not even going to fit any honey on the trailer. So maybe we'll have to do that separate. It's no problem. No problem. Right, I'm going to cut this bit out again in a minute. Right, I think this is the last pallet. I think. I hope. Doing this now, I mean, even though each one is 288 litres, you could kind of say for every 4 at least that's 1,000 litres, yeah? So in theory we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 litres of maple syrup. It's probably a tiny bit more than that actually. So maybe 8,500 litres. But that is amazing. Maple syrup goes for so much money. It really does. A lot of money as well, if I remember. We're talking like a few thousand per 1,000, I think. Okay, right. I'm going to park this up near the honey, because I know I looked before in the last recording and there was a heck of a lot of that there as well. And I'm quite excited to sell the honey because we'll sell that at the wholesale market, which is the one I kind of did that random landscaping episode on. And yeah, I would just like to see what it looks like in real time, but also how I can maneuver the truck around it, to be honest with you. There isn't actually as much there as I thought. But still, that's quite a bit. What do these produce? 400, yeah. So again, they're not as much as they look. It just gives me those hands, like I can move them, but I can't. Right. Okay. I mean, this trip is short and sweet, but I do still feel loading these up this way is quicker than doing one pallet at a time. Now, I can strap them, but those wooden planks do make it difficult to strap. Just got to catch the sweet spot, which there isn't for them. Right, I'll have to just be careful when I... So what are we at now? I mean, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning from a game time point of view, so that's fine, plenty of time. We've got to pick up that field. We've got to... I mean, we just have to buy that other field, which means we've also got to swath that field, and then we've got to pick that field up as well. But we just have to do it, and we have to do it this episode. I've also got some nice long looking grass there as well. And yeah, I mean, we know silage has kind of made the difference so far, so we need to get back onto the silage. Now, this might be tricky, but hopefully it does sell. It just caught that pallet then, I seen it. That's it. Oh wow, we're at 88,000 already. It's just fantastic, isn't it? I might struggle to get these last ones positioned. Okay, that's fine though. I can switch it around, can't I? Let's do a bit of manoeuvring on the grass field. Oh, don't take out the maple gazebo. Oh dear. That was not realistic at all. Right, okay. I can spin around. I won't do it on the neighbour's field. Oh, I've just hit the lamppost. Oh my goodness. What's going on with my driving? That's better. So I'm recording this now and it's Tuesday night. It's quite late in the night. So apologies in advance if, as I kind of progress through the episodes, I think I'm my own worst enemy. I'm my own worst critique, I think. But as I progress through episodes, I notice in editing that, do you know, it would have helped if I lift the back up, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I notice in editing, as the episode goes on, you can kind of hear the tiredness in my voice. And it might just be me, again, because I'm my own kind of critique. But, yeah, I do find as I start pushing it into the early hours, I tend to get a little bit more, well, a bit tired and a bit slower on the talking, I guess. So, yeah, if you do notice that in this one, I do apologise in advance. But it's getting late. I mean, for me now, I think it's probably about 11 o'clock in the evening. Oh dear. This is not going very well at all. I think I made this look super difficult, didn't I? This is what I mean by maybe this low loader is still too big for the map. But it's good. I wanted to use one. But yeah. It's not great. It's just catching it. It's very, 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 very close to getting the whole pallet, but not quite enough. You got it. We got it. Look at how much money we have. Wow. 110,447. That maple syrup has just paid for that entire pig food machine. Easily. Really, really easily. Wow. Amazing. Right, I'm just going to leave this kind of here somewhere. We're not going to do any more of that. Again, I'm trying to kind of split the episode up a little bit. So, we did the swathing. We jumped over, done a little bit of kind of money making. Now we'll jump back into part 2 of the harvest. And we're actually, given that I've just kind of made driving that low loader look like an absolute chore, I'm just going to drive this down on the road, which, again, it's not unrealistic to do that, is it? And it's not like it's got a full 30-foot header on it. No. So this is fine. So we'll just cruise this down. I haven't tested. Will this actually fit over the bridge? Ooh. It will. That was close, though. I made an oh, oh, no. Okay, right. Bit of off-roading. Might take out a couple of bushes. Can I do it though? I reckon I can do that. It should get over that barrier, surely. Yeah. Work? Will it work? Oh, look at that, see? What a driver. Right, let's head on down to the other field. We're here, and I'm a bit worried now. What happens if I pick up the grass? Let me just try. Does that sort of ruin it? Okay, unfold the harvester. That's a good idea. I just did unfold the harvester. Harvester is unfolded. Oh, there you go. Okay, well it's not actually giving me grass, but it is picking up the canola. My concern is this will suddenly go to 0 and not pick up the grass. Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Right, so actually from a swathing point of view, we can just get the rest of it, because the grass doesn't, although the swath picks it up, which is annoying, the pickup is smart enough to know that we don't actually want that, so cool. Now, of course, it is console, it's crossplay. So I don't have the mod where this will generate straw, which is a shame because we need straw for the pigs. But it's the way it is, isn't it? It's the way it is from a console point of view, from a crossplay point of view. Just have to deal with it. And the reason I'm still sticking with that rule, that was my main rule, I think, from day one. Even from the from the first ever episode, and that was because I really wanted this to be a series where I could use helpers But actually, as much as possible, I would like to have used real people, and there's so many of you who's kind of offering to do it, so I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. There's a few people who are absolutely top of the list. Altair, for definite, will be one of the first people I comment to. He's been following me for quite a long time as well, so definitely, mate, as soon as I do it, you will be one of the first I message, and there's loads of other people like you. You got NC as well, that I know this map is very close to home, and yeah, I mean there's two. Do you know, even though I've mentioned already, I am a small fish in a very, very big YouTube ocean, I get so many comments. I'm even starting to struggle to keep up with them now. You know, normally you left me a comment, I'd reply within probably, you know, within the hour, maybe, certainly the same day. Now I'm only just finding time to do the recording, and I know I've still got comments that I haven't answered yet, and as it stands, I've not missed a single comment. I've just gone from sort of an instant reply to maybe a reply within a day or two, and that might get a little bit more, but there's just so many people I speak to all the time who I kind of, you know, I consider you sort of digital friends, I guess, if that's a thing. Is that a thing? I might have just made that up. But yeah, no, I do. We speak so often, it almost like we are kind of digital friends, but we're kind of never put the face to the name, I guess. Is that a big thing, by the way? I'm just curious, seeing what someone looks like when you kind of hear their voice a lot of the time. I don't know, I wonder what you picture me looking like. I wonder. That would be interesting to know. I'd quite like to do, like, you know how the police, when they're looking for someone, they do that kind of character drawing based on various different descriptions. I'd quite like someone to do that. That would be quite funny. Just based on my voice, what do you think I look at? Farm Sim Snowy's done a bit of a face reveal recently. Did a nice little Christmas episode, and again, I mean, it's 2 weeks after Christmas now, and I'm only just watching that. I've only just caught up, but interesting. Yeah, it's not what I thought he would look like, and I don't know what I did think he would look like actually, but yeah, not what I thought he would look like. But the good thing is, you know, if I was to go to this show in January, which hopefully I am going to, I would have known exactly who these YouTubers are, because it's all about the voice, isn't it? So I don't think I'd have any issues actually finding out who was who. I'm curious to know though, one kind of main person who's never done a face reveal is Daggerin. I do wonder what he looks like sometimes. I do wonder. Even in his other channel, he does like a restoration of kind of small machinery, very small kind of garden-based John Deeres and things. Sometimes I watch some of them to wonder if he accidentally puts his face into it, but he never does. It's quite crafty with how he does it, and yeah, I don't know, is that a big thing? I mean, the guy's just hit 900,000 subscribers, and no one's seen his face, so I can't imagine that is a big thing, is it? Don't know. But when I start, definitely when I start doing streams, I probably will put a little camera up. Why not? Yeah, I think it's just nicer to talk to people, isn't it? So I probably will do that. And again, when I start doing those streams, that will be the point when I start throwing those messages out to everyone who's offered to kind of help me and who wants to kind of come on and help with this sort of series. I mean, wouldn't this thing that I'm doing right now, wouldn't this just be so much easier if someone was here doing it with me? Honestly, it's just ridiculous that I haven't even figured out the whole streaming thing properly so far, to be honest with you, because now I'm just here doing all of this on my own. I don't know. This might be, by the way, I mean, let me have a little guess. Roughly, based on recording so far, I reckon we're at probably a 35 to 40 minute episode already. This might be the first episode where actually I don't skip through a month per episode. I think this will be kind of a 2-part month. Just because there's so much going on, I guess, and there's things I've got to catch up on that I haven't done because I haven't been playing it. So I do want to buy that other field, and we got the money to buy it, which is amazing. But I'm not going to be able to swap it and pick it all up in this same episode, because this is a slow process, especially when you can't use a worker. It is a bit annoying, definitely. But certainly what we'll do, we'll end this episode on buying that field, so we know exactly how much money is left, and we'll go up there and just have a look. Have a look at the field. I'm not going to lie, one of the reasons I also really like that field, the yield bonus is great, you know, the soil type is amazing, but actually I can put a cheeky track through it and actually have a sort of a cut through onto the main road of the map, which I just think will save a little bit of time. Right, because the episode is moving on quite quick, I'm not going to time lapse this. I'm going to do it. I have no option but to do it myself manually, but I will just jump straight back in. I was going to say I'll jump straight back in when I'm ready to unload. I'm ready to unload. Okay, right. I'm not going to jump straight back in. What's the button for the auto? There you go. I forgot what it was then for a minute. Right, we'll shut that engine off. Good. And we'll jump into the case. So yeah, I was going to skip a little bit, but I'm not going to now. So, full speed reverse, connect up the auger wagon, and let's just get that harvester emptied and the rest of the picking up done. I love using an auger wagon, by the way. I've got a habit of, do you know, I always do this, and I do it more on this map, and I don't know why, but I've got a really bad habit in Canada of leaving everything in the way. I do it all the time. I don't know what it is. Why? Why do I do that? Anyway, right, I'll jump me back in when I get to the field. Okay, here we are. This isn't yielding too bad, you know. There's still a decent amount there in the middle of the field. That ain't too bad. I certainly think being able to use the pickup has definitely worked in our favour. Now, I ain't going to pour out instantly because I turned the engine off, but that's fine. Turn the engine off, we'll leave that there. We'll jump back in the case. Empty that out. Right, this shouldn't take too long. I will jump back in when it is done and we'll get that field ball. Okay, pretty much there now. The last little strip. So I've just set the cruise control and I'm going to jump over and I'm going to buy this because I'm worried. Although the progression is slow in the map, I'm worried if I don't, it might suddenly get harvested. So £90,266. Boom. We still got 20 grand. Wow. It's just a complete opposite to keep it real, isn't it? It couldn't really be any more different. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. So let's get this unloaded. Pretty sure the auger should be on its way out. Oh, yeah. But I didn't position it very well, did I? Let's get a bit closer. Get a bit closer. And yeah, we'll kind of abandon this here. What's going on? Ah, really? I thought that was close enough. Okay, let's get a bit closer. Come on. There we go. There we go. Do you know, pretty good though, actually. Pretty good. I think we've certainly done quite well. Yeah, definitely. And I'll just aim it like that, and I reckon I can get myself a cheeky little screenshot there for the thumbnail. Maybe. Right, let's turn off the harvester. And we'll jump in the tractor just because I'm nosy. Wow, 12,491 litres. What is that worth? Let's just have a look a minute. I'm not going to do it now, but I just want to know. Canola. It's been such a long time since I've actually harvested a big crop like this. So at its maximum, which by the way is within the next 3 episodes, it's £2,700 per 1,000. And we're already timing that by at least 10. So that's, I don't know, guess 35 grand there just in that trailer. This field has earned us 35 grand. This field didn't even cost us 35 grand, if I remember. How amazing. And, wow, this next field, I have no idea. Now, let's see if I can get up there somehow. Can I fast travel to that? Nope. What can I fast travel to? The fuel station? Visit. Right. I'll just have a little walk. I'll see you there in a second. In actual fact, I don't need to skip this bit, do I? Because if I remember correctly, it is the field. Whoa, I got run over then. It's the field at the top of this hill. So jump the fence, because it's now our fence. Boom. No, it's not. Do you know, I panicked then. I actually did. My chest dropped a bit. This isn't the field. This is definitely not the field. See how many stones are in it as well. I'm glad I didn't buy this field, because I hate stones. Go to the next field. This is the field. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely massive. Massive. What we can see here now probably ain't far off our field. But this field goes all the way down here. All of that. All of that. So pretty much as far as you can see. And all of this. And I mean, they're pretty rubbish trees, but there's a fair amount of wood there as well. If we get really desperate, which, by the way, oh, look at it. That's going to be a big job. That's going to be a real big job. And it's going to take quite some time. Yeah. No matter where you look, all you can see is canola ready to be sold. Amazing. Wow, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling to kind of make such a big investment. Spending money on assets like fields is just a no-brainer, isn't it? Oh, it's just never ending. Never ending. And by the way, just while I'm here, what I will do, about here somewhere, is the track. Yeah, there's the track that comes to here. I'm just going to shoot that straight through the middle of that little forest, straight out to the main road, just to give us some real good access. So anyway, we're done. Thank you very much for watching. This was episode number 40. What a great number to be on. And you know, I could do another 40 episodes of this series. I don't know if I will. My goal always was, this started off in Somerset. We made a bit of money, we sold it all, we moved over to Canada. We're now making a huge amount of money, but we will sell it all, and eventually we're going to move to, I think, America. And do a playthrough on an American map. But I want to earn as much as I can, because I want to do a series where I use the big stuff. You know, the tractors. And yeah, the really big stuff. So that's my future plan in a fair few episodes time. But for here and now anyway, thank you again for watching. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate the comments I know I'm going to get, because I always do. That's why I do it. And until the next one, which will probably be, I don't know, maybe I'll throw a farmer's life in. Yeah. Until I see you next time, cheers and gone.